retention matters. Most people in the nonprofit space have heard that it's easier to keep a donor than to gain a new one. And not only is it easier, it's more cost effective and time efficient as well. And if you retain donors and bring in new donors, now you're making progress and you're building your donor base. But if you're only bringing in new donors and you're losing your current donors, then really you're just treading water, and treading water is exhausting. We don't want to be doing that. So another reason why retention matters is because it creates overall supporters for your organization. And when your donors are retained, then they become invested. And invested donors, they're more likely to become fundraisers, to volunteer, and then to promote your organization in other ways. So the truth is, fundraising will always be a dance and a balancing act between attracting new donors and nurturing the ones that you have. And neither group is more important, but each requires specialized attention in order to create that robust and sustainable fundraising strategy. So let's learn how to increase that donor loyalty, reduce the donor churn, and cultivate a strong donor base. First, let's look at setting goals. Setting retention goals is often an overlooked but super important aspect of donor retention. And this was why we're going over it first. Because without goals, we don't truly know if we're doing well at donor retention or if we're missing the mark by a mile. And goals also help us prepare for a plan of action, because simply saying that you're going to retain more donors this year doesn't actually bring any retention. So we need goals and a plan to reach those goals. But what does that look like? It begins with knowing your numbers. So on to building trust. Retaining donors is about building relationships with your donors, and relationships are built on trust. And we can't assume that donors trust you just because they've donated once or twice. And you must be intentional and preemptive about building trust. And to do this, you need to provide appropriation accountability and operation transparency. Appropriation accountability might sound kind of fancy, but it's really just answering the question, are funds being spent on your mission in effective ways? And this can be more to appropriation accountability. You also need operation transparency. This means being sure that you're sharing enough of the right information. And it's easy to wait until the end of the fiscal year, put out a financial report, and call that transparency. And it is transparent, but is it enough to keep and build your donors' trust? Understanding the multiple facets of your organization and knowing the impact you're making, that's going to strengthen your donors' desire to see you funded and to see you flourishing. If someone donates because their sister was hosting a fundraising page, fantastic. That's what we want. That's why we have peer-to-peer fundraising. But chances are the donor has a limited understanding of who you are. And this is why your welcome series is so important for stewarding that donor from being a new donor to becoming a retained donor. Creating loyalty increases donation retention, and loyalty requires that donors know they're a priority. And another term for this is donor satisfaction. The last key piece is making it easy. And this is making it easy to donate, but also making it easy to learn about your organization. And this might seem like a no-brainer, but it can take a little bit more thought than you might expect. You're going to want to go through your website and your communications, and you're going to want to make sure that it's really as easy as you think it is.
Get free access to a leading fundraising system that will allow you to offer your donors a way to save more money than they donate. This system will work very well to increase the number of donations to your cause as well as increase donation amounts. Simply visit the link in the description below this video to get full details and have this set up for your organization at no cost to you.